From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
On the show tonight, huge victory for the central government in the WAQF battle in the Supreme Court. And at 9 o'clock tonight, the luxury killing epidemic. Rich people are killing middle class and poor people and trying to get away with it than they would have had Republic not exposed them one after the other. The problem with the Lutyens media is that when a cause that they are so closely attached to, when that cause proves to be a cause that doesn't stand the test of law, then they want to underplay it. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the noise they made about WAQF, the noise they made about anti-CA, the noise they made about Shaheen Bagh, the noise they made about NRC, but when it was finally proven that none of the noise they created could be argued with facts, with arguments in a court of law, and that also in the Supreme Court or the higher appellate courts of this country, then they become quiet. That is why the Lutyens media is not leading with the biggest news of the day, which is that the Supreme Court has refused to put any ban on the Modi government's WAQF Amendment Act 2025. And the Supreme Court said there's no reason to do this. After all, and I agree with the Supreme Court, it is the job of the central government, duly elected, represented by the will of the parliament, duly elected, to enact laws. The enactment of laws is the role of the parliament. And if the Supreme Court was to come in and always nullify what the parliament does, then the Supreme Court would be over-enthusiastically treading into the role of the legislature or the role of the duly elected executive. And I am very glad that good sense has prevailed in this case of the WAQF. The Supreme Court has not done that. The Supreme Court has said, why should we? Why should we put a ban on the WAQF Act? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, just before Pahalgam happened, there were certain leaders, a lot of Muslim leaders, who wanted to break up this country on communal lines, who said we will hit the streets over WAQF, only because the central government had pointed out that the WAQF boards had been siphoning off people's money and instead of using it for rightful causes, obviously been putting it into their own pockets. And I had said at that point of time, don't believe these Muslim leaders. They are not representing the will, the intent, or the interest of the Muslim community. They are only representing their own pecuniary and monetary benefits. But many people said, Arnab, you're a right-winger. But they should say today that Arnab is not a right-winger. He was saying the right thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court has said we are not going to put any kind of total ban on WAQF. The court has emphasized that laws enacted in Parliament enjoy a presumption of validity and stays should be granted only in the rarest of rare cases. Now, this is also very important. Of late, there has been a trend that on any issue whatsoever, you create a bit of a halla, create a stir, issue a threat, do a press conference, get the pseudo-secular media on your side, threaten chaos and anarchy in this country, then through your usual lawyers, some of whom thankfully have retired now, through your usual lawyer set, put pressure on the Supreme Court, even attack the Supreme Court bench if required, get articles written in certain pro-pseudo-lobby-based legal websites and use this entire ecosystem to overthrow the will of Parliament. The Supreme Court has said you cannot do that. Parliament has its place. The Supreme Court has its place. That is the real headline that none of this pseudo-secular media will be reporting today, that the Supreme Court has clearly said we have no intention to encroach upon the will of the Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, overall the Supreme Court's order upholds the WAQF Amendment Act, while ensuring some judicial safeguards, making it a significant legal and administrative victory for the centre. I only wish, and I can only pray, and I can only request on behalf of all right-thinking people in this country, sane minds, that these provocateurs like Asaduddin Owaisi, like the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, sometimes realize that there is a rule of law in this country represented by Parliament, represented by government, and represented by Supreme Court. If Asaduddin Owaisi wants to determine what the future of this country should be, if he wants people to practice polygamy, if he wants to allow nikah halala to happen, if he wants to have WAQF boards siphon off the money of the people, first of all, he should not have such aspirations. But if he does, he, instead of being a sole MP from his party, should win 400 seats in Parliament, become the Prime Minister of India, enact a law which will be valid in the Supreme Court. Threatening anarchy, Mr. Owaisi, is no way. Absolutely no way. The law has prevailed. So the Supreme Court has upheld the law which has been passed by Parliament. It should be the end of the matter. Let's unite the country, not divide. Nation first, no compromise. Let's debate.
You want this country to take back into 80s and early 90s? It will be your responsibility. Because as a proud Indian Muslim, I will not lose an inch of my masjid. Forget about a masjid.
यहाँ एक सदस्य ने तो कह दिया माइनॉरिटी इस कानून को स्वीकार नहीं करेगी। क्या धमकाना चाहते हो भाई? संसद का कानून है, सबको स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा।
Supreme Court has settled the WAQF controversy. The top court has refused to stay the WAQF Amendment Act and state only two provisions of the Act. To those opposing the WAQF Act, Apex Court has made it clear that the law passed by Parliament is constitutional.
Number one, there is no stay on the amending provisions of the amendment of WAQF Act 1995. Second, that there is no stay on registration of WAQF properties. Third, there is a stay on the report of a revenue officer based on which the DM could have taken possession of the WAQF property. That is a stay. The fourth point is that those who have not practiced Islam for 5 years, they cannot create WAQF as per amendment provision. That has been stayed. And the fifth position is that the non-Muslims to the extent of 3 members can be inducted in WAQF board.
What the Supreme Court's order changes is the fact that now the collector cannot decide if a property is a WAQF or not. In case of contention, there would be a status quo till High Court decides on the case. WAQF member has to be a Muslim as far as possible, and the clause which said that the WAQF member has to be a practicing Muslim for 5 years has been stayed. While the opposition has made WAQF an issue of appeasement,
our arguments are still very strong, and I'm sure when Supreme Court finally hears the whole validity or the unconstitutionality of this act, then all these issues will be brought in front of the Supreme Court. But the real purpose of BJP of bringing this act is to ensure that the WAQF mechanism gets weakened.
Heart of the WAQF Amendment Act has always been action on land grabbers.
अभी फैशन है संविधान लहराने की। ये संविधान के हिसाब से सरकार का या किसी भी निजी संस्था का कोई भी फैसला मान्यवर कायदे की कोर्ट से बाहर कैसे हो सकता है? कोई भी फैसला, ये देश की अदालत वो फैसले तक रीच ही नहीं रखेगी। नागरिक ग्रीवेंसेस लेकर कहां जाएंगे? जिसकी भूमि हड़प कर ली गई वो कहां जाएगा? ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। आपकी वोट बैंक के लिए आपने किया था, हम खारिज कर रहे हैं, हम खारिज कर रहे हैं।
Nationwide, there has been multiple examples of how land grabbers have encroached land. They even claimed that the parliament is built on Waqf land. They have even in the past claimed ownership of an entire village in Tamil Nadu. In Madhya Pradesh, they claimed ownership of 47 buildings. The Supreme Court's decision is largely a vindication for centre.
वक्फ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट में जो प्रावधान है वो संपूर्ण रूप से पूरे मुस्लिम कौम के लिए फ़ायदा पहुंचाने वाला है और वक्फ बोर्ड के माध्यम से जो मिसयूज़ होते थे, प्रॉपर्टी जो मिसयूज़ कब्जा करते थे, वो भी बंद हो जाएगा।
Will those who tried to fuel a nationwide fire over Waqf apologize? Will the opposition accept the constitutionality of the law?
Okay. So now I feel, first of all, my sympathies and my sympathies to Harish Mohammad Ibrahim, Pro DMK, फैज़ान किदवा, इतनी कोशिश की आपने, नाकाम हो गए, हार गए सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एक बार फिर। माई सिंपथीज टू सैयद बाबर अशरफ किछावी, अब सब कुछ वक्फ लैंड चला जाएगा आपके हाथों से। ताला अमर रशीदी, आप लोग कहते सड़कों पे आ जाएंगे, ये होगा वो होगा, अभी आप मत आइए क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने फैसला दे दिया है। गैर कानूनी काम, असंवैधानिक काम मत कीजिए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट has totally refused to suspend the WAQF Amendment Act. They have said there is no case. They have also said that भाई respect parliament. आप लोग हारे हुए इंसान, आप लोग जीत नहीं सकते, सरकार नहीं बना सकते। Parliament enjoys a presumption of validity. Look at the words of the Supreme Court. And we can't give stays just like that, only in rarest of rare cases. This is not rarest of rare. I also welcome Shalini Ali of the Muslim Rashtriya Manch, Ratan Sharda of the RSS and Sanju Verma of the BJP. Congratulations to all of you who brought in the Waqf Amendment Act. But you see, these people cannot be trusted. They can still try to create some trouble. And their approach is play the victim, stoke the mob. Try to create some communal violence, communal trouble. कुछ भी कर सकते हैं.
Arnab knows everything.
Not, I don't know everything. I know the way you behave.
We all know actually.
Yes, Arnab and the Chacha sitting on the debate knows everything.
He is not your chacha. His name is Ratan Sharda. Show respect.
So I'm giving him respect, Arnab. He's of the age of my chacha.
He's not your chacha. He's not your chacha. He's not your chacha. He's a very respected RSS ideologue.
My chacha knows his bhatija, the modus operandi of his bhatija, you know.
Yeah, right. That is the reason. I don't want such bhatijas. Now, Arnab, coming to the main point, all this smile and this smirk all day, we have won some battle. They believe that changing the tribunal system or taking away the right of the collector is the biggest victory for them. I let them be happy. Point is, why was a Waqf bill brought? It was brought because from 1913 to 2013, total land with Waqf board was 19 or 21 lakhs. From 2013, after the surreptitious change of the Waqf board, first in 1995, then 2013, the land grew by another 100%, by another 19 lakh acres. How did it happen? Because the new Waqf board made such huge mistakes and such anti-constitutional right. Where is the Waqf by use now? Waqf by use could be so troublesome that Allahabad High Court had to spend 5 years to get the premises vacated. This is what people object to, that you will put up some tent in some court and then you will donate it to Waqf board and then you say it is my land. That is why High Court of Allahabad spent 5 years. Secondly, they said Waqf by user to gaya. They said कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, court, they have said clearly कागज चाहिए. At the same time, they have said the stay will not be on the Waqf Board Act at all. This is the biggest victory for the government or the people who believe in right to their own
Boss,
properties.
at least clarify
And
for
how
whom
could they claim
is the
the
victory?
temples?
You say the victory
How
is
could you
for
claim
us, now you
temples
say
which
that
are older
victory
than
is
the
for the
Islam?
government.
How could you
yourself don't
claim
know what
temples are older than
you
Islam,
understand.
lands which are older than Islam, and you
You don't
claim
even know
injustice to
what to do.
Muslims?
You want to
have
celebrate
just
the
been
Supreme Court's
stoking-
verdict, or you want to
Bhatija,
condemn it?
Bhatija,
You say it's a victory of the Muslims, or it's a victory of
Bhatija,
ours,
bolne
and you
do.
say
You
it's a
called me
victory of
Chacha,
yours.
let me speak.
Chacha, at least
Don't
take a
interrupt me.
stand. At
Don't
least take
interrupt
a
me.
stand, Chacha. Be
I
on
have taken a stand.
stand.
I have
You
taken a
were
stand.
congratulating
that
us,
has
and
been
then you are
proved correct by
congratulating
the
the government.
court.
The
And you are
government
looking at
says the
small
WAQF
victories.
amendment act
भांजा,
is for the Muslims,
भांजे,
for the benefit for the welfare of the Muslims.
भांजे
And
उनको
the
बोलने
Chacha is
दीजिए.
saying that.
भांजे इनको बोलने दीजिए.
अच्छा, okay, Mama. Okay, I'm allowing him to speak. I thought I was the
मेरी
Bhatija,
बात
you
ये
are
है,
calling
एक
me a
मिनट,
Bhanja.
एक मैं
So I call you a Mama.
I now the point here is, you see, the fact is, the best thing about this, the best thing about today's order, I'm so happy about it because we are a secular country, Sanju Verma. The best thing about the order is that you don't have to be a Muslim to be on the Waqf board. Hats off. This is wonderful. I'm so proud of the Supreme Court, which has said,
Why do you scheme when someone is on the Hindu
state
temple board?
property
Arnab?
holder, it is
Why
not
do
a
you
religious
start-
body.
you don't have to be Muslim to be on Waqf board.
Importance
Muslim
is
on a Hindu
that
temple board.
Waqf mosque
No,
is
one
a
minute.
property holder. Is
Ratan Sharda, 1 minute.
It is not a religious property. It is very clearly stated.
Okay, 1 minute. I can't hear both of you
For the
together.
Waqf board, which is a
Ratan
real
Sharda,
estate
moment,
manager.
please. Ratan Sharda, moment.
Religious body.
1 minute. What is the problem, Tala?
Would you vouch for a Muslim on a Hindu endowment board, temple board, the government?
There is a difference.
The government.
There is a difference between
Temple board,
and Waqf board.
the
That is
Indian
what
endowment board. Would you
clearly
vouch for that?
See,
Would you call that a
My
secular
dear
country?
Bhatija,
Why would you vouch for
what
that?
did court say?
Ratan Sharda!
Between the temple land and a mosque and the Waqf board property. Waqf board is not a religious body. Land is not religious
know
land
nothing
there.
about Waqf.
Mosque
Waqf
is
is
managed
an
by the
essential part of
Qazi.
Islamic
No,
religion.
nobody wants to be
Waqf
there.
is an essential
So
part
when
of the
my
Islamic
temple is
religion.
taken over by the
That is why
government,
it's called
your
Waqf.
IS officers,
That's why
I had fight with
Waqf-
Arnab
Okay, 1
Goswami
minute,
years
1 minute,
back.
1 minute.
That is why
1
we
minute.
donate our
Ratan Sharda,
properties
just
for
give me
the
a
cause of
moment. You
Allah,
guys
for
are
the
speaking
welfare
over
of the
each other.
society.
Viewers,
Waqf is an essential part of
You have
Islamic
taken-
religion.
I can't have both together. Audio producers, audio will have to manage it, and my producers have to be active on this. When I mention Sanju Verma's name, I would like to see her on air. Aditi, I cannot direct and anchor at the same time. My question here is very simple, guys. Very simple. Somewhere we have to understand what is going on. These people like Tala and all, Faizan, they wanted to have this कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे movement, शाहीन बाग जैसा मौका मिल गया, मुस्लिम कंसोलिडेशन करो, है ना, अनार्की स्प्रेड करने की कोशिश करो, सड़कें बंद करो और एक अराजकता का माहौल, a situation of complete anarchy and political blackmail should be created in India. Now Faizan, don't try to blackmail after the Supreme Court verdict. Please humbly accept it. Over to you, Faizan Kidwai, who's the national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. And after that, Sanju, I see you coming. Yes, Faizan, please.
Good evening, Arnab. Good evening and
Good
good
evening.
evening to the fellow panelists. See, Arnab, आप जो मुस्लिम पोलराइजेशन और पता नहीं क्या बोल रहे थे तो आपने किया ऑपोजिशन में सारे मुसलमान आपने बुला लिए हैं मे बी वांट टू पुट मुस्लिम्स अगेंस्ट whatever ideology you're supporting right now, which is unfortunate. You shouldn't have done that. But sir, let me just complete. See, as BJP people and supporters of Bharatiya Janata Party are trying to say this is a vindication of this interim order is a vindication for the bill that the Parliament had passed. No, sir, it's not. Actually, the Supreme Court, what it has done today, it has given a tight slap and wrapped the knuckles of the government. It took cognizance of all the egregious provisions in the bill and struck it down because the Bharatiya Janata Party was acting with a malified intention to cater to its notorious right-wing vote bank by disenfranchising the Muslims of the legitimate right, unki haq ki chori. When the Supreme Court says, the Honorable Supreme Court in the interim order says that the stupidity of following the religion of Islam for 5 years will be required if you want to waqf your property.
Did the Supreme Court use the word stupidity, or are you using the word stupidity?
May I?
Did the Supreme Court use the word stupidity? Because it's a very serious matter. Did the Supreme Court use the word stupidity, or is Faizan Kidwai in his individual capacity using the word stupidity?
May I, sir?
No, you may, but can you clarify that you are are using the word and the Supreme Court did not.
I will clarify everything. I'll clarify everything. You also clarify, but when you started, you said this is a victory for Bharatiya Janata Party. The courts have agreed with what the government has done. Kindly show me the statement where the courts have agreed. The courts have struck down 3 major points. 3 subsection R, 3C and 14 sections of this unconstitutional bill. This just goes on to show that the courts are not, this is an interim order, and I am sure when things will progress and there will be more discussions about the same in the Honorable Court, then the courts will come out with a verdict, and
I wish to.
It will eventually support
Faizan,
what we are saying, sir.
Faizan,
it is not about Hindu and Muslim. Just a second. Sir, just a second. It's a very sensitive matter.
But Faizan, I want to destroy your argument.
For some reason. Sir, you can destroy all the arguments you want. First, let me destroy the argument you started with. This is not something that the courts have said which is going to vindicate what the Narendra Modi government has done. The Narendra Modi government is only trying to discriminate, trying to steal away legitimate rights from the Muslim community. And as Ratan Sharda was saying, that 19 lakh acres land has grown. This is a false propaganda which none other than Amit Shah during the discussion of Waqf said. And sir, there is no official document to support this claim. The government's own data says that Waqf holds 9.4 lakh acres of land. The Ministry of Minority Affairs or the Waqf Asset Management System of India, they have no document to back this fakery. तो ये fakery से बचिए रतन शारदा जी.
One, you are coming in. One. Okay, Faizan ji, because no, Sanju, 1 minute. Sanju, 1 minute. Because he made a few comments on me, I'll only respond and hand it over to you. But I have a right to respond. In this program, after all, Faizan should understand that Faizan, not only am I the best aware, most researched, and most prepared news anchor in the history of this country, presently and for some time in the future. Sir. But I am also the truly impartial and truly secular anchor of this country.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Thank you. Now, having said that, Faizan, having said that, you acha now, Tala, you put stop clapping. I am impartial. I'll tell you, I am impartial.
बीजेपी नाराज हो जाएगी सर.
I am impartial. देखिए फैजान जी, मेरे से कोई नाराज नहीं होता. मेरी बात सुनिए. मैं आपको बस चंद तीन सेंटेंसेस में रिबट करके संजू जी के हाथों आपको हैंडओवर कर रहा हूं. उसके बाद उनको जो करना है वो करेंगे. आप दोनों के बीच में भीषण कुरुक्षेत्र होगा. मेरी बात सुनिए. पहली बात आपने कहा, आई सेड इट्स अ विक्ट्री फॉर बीजेपी. नो, आई सेड इट्स अ विक्ट्री फॉर सेंटर, फॉर पार्लियामेंट, फॉर लेजिस्लेटर एंड एग्जीक्यूटिव. वन, आई डिडंट से विक्ट्री फॉर बीजेपी. 1 पॉइंट. सेकंड पॉइंट, आपने कहा 3 बड़े प्रावधान जो हैं उनको खारिज कर दिया है. यू सेड दे हैव रिमूव्ड 3 प्रावधान. सर, let me tell you, the Supreme Court has only, number 1, capped the number of non-Muslims in the Waqf, not removed it. तो ठीक है, Supreme Court has said Waqf में 4 से ज़्यादा non-Muslim members नहीं हो सकते और state Waqf boards में 3 से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकते. As a matter of principle, today Supreme Court said Hindu, Sikh, Parsi, बौद्ध धर्म को फॉलो करने वाले वक्फ बोर्ड के मेंबर्स हो सकते हैं जिसके खिलाफ तला थे. दूसरी बात, now the court has only, it has said this new Waqf, okay, 3, the point number 3. The Supreme Court has clarified that Section 3 of the WAQF Act, which mandated proof of practicing Islam for 5 years before creating a Waqf, has only been temporarily stayed. The court has not struck down the clause. It has kept the door open for greater scrutiny of new Waqf declarations. Third point, the Supreme Court has stayed the contentious clause that let district collectors decide if it's Waqf land or government land.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But now here also, the bench has upheld the argument of the centre that such decisions can only be tentative. The final order is with the court or the Waqf tribunals.
Correct.
And because the Waqf tribunals will have greater and more democratic representation, the court has safeguarded Waqf assets, directing that no property be sold, transferred and encumbered till such dispute are adjudicated. तो आपकी जो कोशिश है ना ये कहने की कि हमारी थोड़ी सी, आपकी 70% जीते हमारी 30%, ऐसा नहीं है.
अरे
ऐसा नहीं है.
सरकार
आप हार चुके हैं.
आप क्यों परेशान हो रहे हैं?
आप हार चुके हैं फैजान जी.
सर,
इसको एक्सेप्ट कीजिए.
मैं हार गया. सर, आप खुश किस लिए हो रही है?
मैं खुश हूं क्योंकि न्याय की जीत है.
अगर सेंटर और ऑपोजिशन हैव लॉक्ड हॉर्न्स ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक जो इंसानियत के खिलाफ है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ है, तो आप बीजेपी का साथ क्यों?
एक मिनट मैं तो मेरा अच्छा एक मिनट इस पे संजू मैं एक रिस्पॉन्ड करके आपको कहूंगा। देखिए मेरी बात सुनिए, मैं संजू को मैं एक मिनट फैजान जस्ट स्टॉप। आपने एक बात कही, देखिए भाई फैजान जी मेरी बात सुनिए, उसके बाद संजू रिप्लाई करेंगे, ठीक है? देखिए सुनील गावस्कर कहते हैं कि ये क्रिकेट मैच जो हो रहा है ना, इसमें बीसीसीआई की कोई राय नहीं है, मोदी सरकार ने अलाउ कर दिया, हम तो खेलने जा रहे हैं। क्या मैंने कहा कि मैच होनी चाहिए? मैंने खुलकर कहा, आई सेड दिस पाकिस्तान इंडिया मैच शुड नेवर हैव हैपेंड। मैं कोई गवर्नमेंट नॉन गवर्नमेंट बीजेपी नॉन बीजेपी का लाइन नहीं ले रहा। आप लोग अराजकता फैलाना चाहते हैं। यू वांटेड अ शाहीन बाग टाइप नेशन वाइड प्रोटेस्ट, इसलिए आपके खिलाफ हूं मैं। You should stop that. Sanju Verma is on the debate. Debate is between Sanju Verma and Faizan, not between me and Faizan. Sanju.
Okay.
You know, I listened to Faizan very intently, and I hope that we'll have a sensible debate, because this is a very, very sensitive and a fractious issue from either side of the spectrum. First and foremost, let me say one thing very categorically, Arnab, taking off from where you left. Under Article 245 right up till Article 254 of the Constitution, our Constitution clearly delineates the powers between the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. And I think today on the 15th of September 2025, the Supreme Court, by not staying the WAQF Amendment Act, has clearly said that it is not willing to encroach upon the powers of the Indian Parliament. And I think that is the biggest, salute to the fact that democracy is alive and kicking. Because let's not forget, Jagdambika Pal was the JPC chairman. Under the JPC, there were 284 stakeholders. There was 108 hours worth of discussions. There were more than 38 sittings. There were more than 49 amendments. And there was more than 288 pages worth of observations. All this happened under the JPC, and in fact, more than 10 lakh people even gave their feedback on the WAQF Act online. So ye कहना that the Modi government took a unilateral decision, nahi, ye galat hai. A lot of time and effort was spent in discussing the WAQF and its provisions.
Really?
My third point, Arnab, Faizan, please, I did not heckle you.
Sure.
In the Lok Sabha, the WAQF Amendment Act was passed with a majority of 288 to 232 seats after a 12-hour discussion. In the Rajya Sabha, the WAQF Amendment Act was passed with a majority of 128 to 95 votes with a 17-hour discussion, after which the WAQF Amendment Act was again thrashed out in the cabinet. After that, it went to the Honorable President Draupadi Murmu for her approval. So every constitutional prakriya was followed, and both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha passed it with a majority. So ye कहना that WAQF Act Modi सरकार की मनमानी के चलते पास हुआ is absolutely against the facts in the public domain. My third and most important point, बार, and this has nothing to do with Muslims or Hindus. You know, Faizan is an erudite speaker. हर बार लोग कहते हैं, अरे the WAQF Amendment Act is against, the freedom to profess and propagate religion under Article 25 of the Constitution. The Modi government is interfering with Article 25. Please understand, every fundamental right, including the rights under Article 14, 15, 25, no right is absolute. The Constitution clearly says that every right, every fundamental right is subject to public order, morality and health. So no right functions in a vacuum or in isolation.
Strong arguments tonight. She's come prepared, man. She's come prepared. She's destroying your arguments tonight, Faizan.
Okay. Now.
Let her complete. I think, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying she's come prepared tonight. Faizan is in trouble. He's looking for papers. Look there. He's pulling out a paper. 1 minute. He's pulling out a paper.
Of course.
He's going to lose the
I have my
debate.
documents written.
Can I finish?
I have my points written.
Let her finish. Let her finish. Yeah, let her
No,
finish.
this is not fair.
1 versus 4. Windows should be ready. Yeah.
Let me finish. And Arnab, you know, what do you mean she's come prepared today? मैं तो हर बार प्रिपरेशन के साथ आती हूँ अर्नब गोस्वामी जी, खासकर ऑन रिपब्लिक. How can I afford
not
to be
as prepared as me.
Okay.
Arnab Goswami, you love yourself so much.
I am entirely in love with myself. Everybody should be in love with me. Why you don't love yourself?
आपको देख के मुझे वो कैरेक्टर याद आता है, वो जब भी मेट कर मैं अपनी
अरे मैं कुछ नहीं करता. Sanju Verma comes with this, you know, with this huge sword on my program every night. मैं कोई दूसरा बोलता है, she attacks me. And then people go on Twitter and say, Sanju Verma, well done, you attacked Arnab. क्या है? मैं फंस जाता हूँ इन सब में.
अरे भाई साहब बोलने
After
दीजिए ना
me,
मुझे.
yeah.
Arnab, can I finish? Okay. At least today Faizan and me are not fighting. You know?
But he's losing.
The other very important thing, which your audience needs to listen to is this. What did the Modi government do? What was the single biggest achievement of the WAQF Amendment Act? The single biggest achievement was we removed Section 40. Section 40 of the WAQF Amendment Act. What does Section 40 of the WAQF Amendment Act say? It said that if the WAQF board decided,
I need time
if the
to rebut
WAQF
now.
board decided that the property belongs to the WAQF, then no proof is required, no document is required, no deed is required. The Supreme Court said Section 40 of the WAQF stands revoked. Section 40 of the WAQF Amendment Act stands revoked.
Okay, now Sanju, let me come in. Sanju, let me come in. First of all, I want to tell Syed Babar Ashraf Kichawi ji and Harish Mohammad Ibrahim, Mr. Kichawi, you see, first of all, there is nothing wrong in losing. There is nothing wrong. You have lost. You may be a member of WAQF board, you may be losing money, not just prestige, I don't know.
You have to understand.
But you have to understand, Mr. Kichawi, that the court has upheld the deletion of the concept of WAQF by user.
No.
Yes.
You're wrong.
I'm telling you.
You're wrong.
No.
Let me interject.
Let me complete what I'm saying.
Let me speak
what
now.
Sanju Verma
Let
is
me
there.
speak
No,
now.
there are certain things. Arnab, please. Arnab, there's very limited time. Kindly let me just. Sanju was constantly speaking. So
no, but I have to get Mr. Kichawi in and then bring you in.
No. Don't get anybody. Let me complete my point. See, the thing is, what the Honorable Supreme Courts have done today, it is a befitting reply to the dictatorial approach of Shri Narendra Modi. It has stayed the powers of the government puppet, sir. Government puppet, the WAQF status won't be changed.
ये सब subjective बात है.
The WAQF status cannot be changed.
I wish to.
And there can be no third party, cannot be created, no third party can be created.
चलिए आपको moral victory चाहिए, आपको moral victory भी नहीं मिली. अभी मैं सैयद बाबर अशरफ किचावी जी के पास जाने वाला हूं, आप मुझे अलाउ कीजिए. किचावी जी is on the debate right now with Shalini Ali. मैं सब देखिए किचावी जी मैं एक लाइन कहता हूं कि the court has upheld the deletion of
what
the
I have
concept
understand, let me speak now.
You won't listen to me.
I think
you don't want to listen to me.
The judgment which is delivered by the Honorable Court is very much clear. They understand the significance of WAQF and they understand the relation of Muslims and WAQF is like body and soul. So it's a very deep and meaningful comparison. And they have tried to restore in this particular verdict which they have stated over here today. They already have told no. The practicing 5 years Muslim criteria that is diluted over there, that has been upheld by the court. It is very much clear. The WAQF by user, it is already existing over there. They said that those properties which is already included in records, that will remain as WAQF. It cannot be changed and that criteria cannot be taken by the collector or anybody else who will decide whether it is WAQF or not. It is the WAQF tribunal and the courts who will decide basically. So this nation and the entire WAQF law
Mr. Kichawi and Shalini, no, only two now.
Managed by
Mr. Kichawi,
by the court.
Mr. Kichawi, Mr. Kichawi, can I say something?
You can.
Thank you. See, Mr. Kichauchvi, now you are a senior person. You should not be a communal person. And if you are communal, it is my duty to bring you on the side of true secularism.
Hey, you don't should dent like this. You don't should dent this. If anybody is
let me say something.
Don't put your words in my mouth. Okay?
No, let me say something to you, sir. Sir,
don't do like this. Don't malign the
okay,
image
you don't like it. I will put it
this,
factually. Okay, I will not say that you can be communal if you want to, but I'd still try to make you secular. You see, concerning the appointment of the chief executive officer of the WAQF board, the court did not stay the provision allowing non-Muslim CEOs. Non-Muslims can be CEOs. Non-Muslims can be CEOs of the WAQF board.
I don't bother. The court had said it is better that you should have a Muslim on that particular
there is no ban. Is there a ban from a Hindu?
That is what Supreme Court had said. You cannot.
Sir, I know what the Supreme Court has said.
You cannot put your own.
I know what the Supreme Court has said. I'll tell you.
That is what Supreme Court has said.
What did you want?
Supreme Court already had said.
Muslim.
We are not going to stay over
you wanted
here,
Hindus.
but it is far better
you wanted Hindus.
in the interest of the community.
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, what?
You should have that.
Sir, please listen. There is a law. You wanted Hindus to be stopped from becoming CEOs. The court has not stopped it. The court has said, without restriction of religion, the job of CEO is open to all. That is such a big thing, which means the court has said at least 2/3 of the board members are from Muslim community.
It is good for us.
Hence the character of the institution is unaffected. Hindus can be a CEO of WAQF board. But even today, look at you. Even today you are opposing Hindus from being CEO of WAQF board. Why, Mr. Kichauchvi? Why? Why can't you be open-minded? After the Supreme
Arnab,
Court...
Can I come in?
Shalini, you tell him.
You have to
Let
Shalini,
me just answer his queries. See, it's a big win for today. It's a big win for the democratic, socialist, secular country that we are living in. We are all safe here. The Muslims of this country are very much safe in this country. As a matter of fact, it's a thank you to the Supreme Court to giving such a good judgment today. What were the queries and what needed to be quashed is not quashed. So if the person from Samajwadi Party is saying that BJP has lost, he should first start thinking, why was there a fight over something like WAQF, jo Allah ki property hai, why did it even go into the courts? Number one, you can have non-Muslim members on the board. When you have taken non-Muslim people's land as WAQF property, why can't they be members of the board? Number two,
fantastic
CM, collector takes in oath of allegiance when he comes in as an IS officer. And if he is there to solve your issues and your issues are not solved, you can go to the WAQF tribunal courts. That was there even before. Why was the hue and cry there? Because such individuals, such Muslim, yes, it was there, please. Such individuals and such Muslim organizations who think that they are the owners of the Muslims of this country spread a rumor stating कि तुम्हारी जमीनें तो ले ली जाएगी, तुम्हारे मस्जिद भी ले लेंगे, मदरसा भी ले लेंगे. कौन सी मस्जिद मदरसा ले ली गई है ऐसे? अच्छा, उसके अलावा अगर ये बात आती है कि आप नॉन मुस्लिम होते हुए प्रॉपर्टी दे रहे हो, नॉन मुस्लिम होते हुए वक्फ बोर्ड के मेंबर भी बन रहे हो, and if you are not a practicing Muslim for 5 years, that's not a win-win. That's not a win-win. As a matter of fact, the Supreme Court has said it's put a stay on it. You never know. Tomorrow they may come up with another issue that will be coming in forward. There is a solution for everything. Registration, you don't want to register properties. Why? When the registration process has been there from the beginning, why don't you want to? And let me put it on record. The Sai Baba Trust in Anantnag in Jammu Kashmir, Sai Baba Trust in Anantnag, Jammu Kashmir has a Muslim trustee on the board. So when you talk about Hindu boards, when you talk about Hindu trust, not having Muslims, please correct it.
Madam,
And most importantly, please let me complete. I did not. I've been quiet for 22 minutes. Let me complete. Most importantly, the WAQF Amendment Bill does not have a stay on it, which is a big win-win for all us Muslims. More than that, the Garib Tabqa, the Aam Janata, who didn't even know what the WAQF was about.
Most important thing here is, one minute. The most important, Harish, the most important thing is, the Faizan, Faizan, 1 minute. Faizan, 1 minute. You are intervening without waiting for the anchor. I want to let Harish speak, otherwise he's going to leave the program.
Give you 1 point.
Harish has to speak.
Points for Bharatiya Janata Party to rebut.
I'm coming to you, yaar. Let me anchor this program.
No. The government's own data says of 2025 that
when the matter is in the court,
Faizan,
Waqf properties have been encroached, and this government, instead of empowering the Waqf board, wants to dilute the autonomy of Waqf board.
हो
This
गया ना,
just
अभी
goes on
सुप्रीम
to
कोर्ट ने
prove.
डिसाइड कर
this
दिया.
just
अभी
goes
there's
on.
no point doing
सुप्रीम
this
कोर्ट ने
रोना धोना
decide
now.
कर दिया है.
फैजान, ये
आपको
रोना धोना
बताते
बंद
हैं,
कीजिए, अभी कुछ नहीं होने वाला है.
बीजेपी का लीडर चोरी कर रहा है. बीजेपी का लीडर जो है जनवरी 2021 में भोपाल में 1.2 हेक्टेयर्स ऑफ वक्फ ग्रेवयार्ड जो था उसके एनजीओ ने चोरी कर लिया.
आपके प्रशांत भूषण के कितने हेक्टेयर्स ऑफ लैंड को कोर्ट ने वापस ले लिया?
उम्मीद होगी.
प्रशांत भूषण ने कितने हेक्टेयर्स ऑफ लैंड लिए थे हिमाचल में?
अरे सर,
प्रशांत भूषण ने कितने हेक्टेयर लैंड लिए थे हिमाचल में?
प्रशांत भूषण की बात नहीं कर रहा मैं. प्रशांत भूषण मेरा
प्रशांत भूषण ने क्या किया था? एप्पल ऑर्चर्ड खोला था क्या?
अरे सर, आप मेरे तो फेवरेट आप हैं सर. आप मेरे फेवरेट एंकर हैं, बट आप मुझे बोलने नहीं दे रहे अनफॉर्चुनेटली.
एक मिनट. नाउ आई नीड टू ब्रिंग सम order on the debate. Order. 1 minute. Now Harish, see. Only thing, what do I want? I want you to say today that this time don't do something that leads to 53 people being killed like you did last time. कितने और लोगों को मारेंगे polarize करके? You see, you must accept the law. Harish, you have switched off your video. Are you running away? The point is, you must accept the law. This is the Supreme Court, final order. अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. Nothing. You understand? No, nothing. Faizan, nothing can happen now. It's over.
What are you saying? You are misleading the people.
Lost.
This is an interim order. This is an interim order. And the Supreme Court has, the kind of verdict Supreme Court has given, it clearly says that this entire bill, it was biased, it was unconstitutional, it was flawed, and that's the reason Supreme Court has struck down three major clauses. This Supreme Court has struck down three major clauses. And in time when more hearings
if you are happy, question is,
Supreme Court at large will make sure
get Sanju
that
back.
this unconstitutional bill, which is against
Faizan, you are
the interest of an
speaking
entire
more than you know,
society, sir.
and that is a dangerous thing. Whenever a person, there should always be a balance between how much a person knows and how much a person speaks.
Exactly.
You are speaking more than you know.
This is-
It is like the case of Amir Khan. I'll tell you what Amir Khan happened to Amir. What has happened to Amir Khan happened with you. Amir Khan became overconfident of his own acting. So he overacted so much in a movie 2 years back. कौन सा वाला था वो? हाँ, लाल सिंह चड्ढा में फैजान आमिर खान ने इतनी ओवर एक्टिंग कर दी कि सबने रिजेक्ट कर दिया. मूवी फ्लॉप हो गई. आपकी भी ओवर एक्टिंग हो रही है.
Arnab, allow me to expose you.
नहीं, expose
ओवर एक्टिंग को मैं सामने लाता हूँ.
किसको expose कर रहे हो?
सामने लाता हूँ. आप कह रहे हो lose, you have lost in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ने verdict deliver कर दिया. It's an interim order. It's an interim order. Arnab Goswami, please go and.
चलो है ना. I am happy with the interim order. You be happy. आप ये CA टाइप शाहीन बाग करना बंद कीजिए. आप you stop this शाहीन बाग टाइप थिंग. You say today, नहीं शाहीन एक मिनट देखिए मनमानी नहीं चलेगी. नहीं मनमानी नहीं चलेगी. मैं अभी तक अच्छी तरह से बात कर रहा था. अब संजू डिबेट करेंगे आपके साथ. ये मनमानी, ये हम सारे मुसलमानों को लाएंगे, एकजुट करेंगे, रास्ता ब्लॉक करेंगे, ये सब नहीं चलने वाला है इस देश में. ये चलेगा नहीं. Don't provoke Muslims. Don't provoke Muslims.
Allow me to give you some gyan.
I will not let you give me gyan. Sanju is on the debate. Let it be 50-50. 50-50 with Sanju.
Nothing about anything. Arnab, this is an
Arnab,
interim
can I
order.
please?
अच्छा, let Sanju come in.
Moderate the debate. This cannot be a short
and
match. Thank you.
Sanju and Kichoj भी.
यहाँ ताली बजाने के लिए आए आपके.
Can I please?
हम लोग लेक्चर मोनोलॉग सुनने आए.
Oh my God, let him speak. Once he's done, I will speak, Arnab, because you have to moderate the debate.
Okay.
You know, you can't be allowing this kind of clownery. Thank you. You know, पहली बात तो ये अर्नब जी कि after the revocation of section 40 of the WAQF Act, अब क्या होगा? वक्फ बोर्ड ने कहा था पूरा का पूरा जो गांव है, विलेज इन कावेरी, ये हमारा है. सुंदरेश्वर टेम्पल इन तिरुचिरापल्ली ये हमारा है, जबकि दिस टेम्पल इज 2000 years old and इस्लाम इज ओनली 1400 years old. हैदराबाद में बंजारा हिल्स ये कहते हैं पूरा का पूरा हमारा है. रेलवे लैंड इन हल्द्वानी ये कहते हैं पूरा का पूरा हमारा है. पुणे एंड परभानी, 2 बिग डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स इन महाराष्ट्र, ये कहते हैं पूरा का पूरा हमारा है। पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग कहते हैं हमारा है। इंदिरा गांधी इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट वक्फ बोर्ड कहती है ये हमारा है। सूरत म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन की जमीन वक्फ बोर्ड कहता है हमारा है। आर्मी हेडक्वार्टर्स इन रजौरी एंड पूंछ वक्फ कहता है ये हमारा है। अर्नाकुलम में 405 एकड़ की जो बीच की जमीन है, दे सेड दैट द एंटायर बीच बिलोंग्स टू अस। गुरुद्वारा यमुनानगर वक्फ बोर्ड कहता है ये हमारा है। तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या कहा? सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज सेड that section 40 which allowed the Waqf board to unilaterally claim and encroach on public property, that section is now section 40 khatam. You cannot say Tiruchirappalli में जो टेम्पल है वो हमारा है। Now you cannot say पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग हमारी है। Now you cannot say
महाबलीपुरम मंदिर भी ले लेंगे एक दिन,
हमारी है। Now you cannot say 405 acres of बीच इन एर्नाकुलम ये हमारी है। नाउ यू कैनॉट से इंदिरा गांधी इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट की जमीन हमारी है। आई थिंक दैट इज द बिगेस्ट रिफॉर्म।
ओके हरीश,
बोर्ड कैनॉट
Harish, see, you are a reasonable man on most occasions. You must today tell Faizan to chill and say we will not try to do another CA type staged artificial resistance, you know. We should not do that. That's all I want you to tell them, please. As a right-thinking person of the Muslim community, it's your responsibility to educate them. They should not be radicalized like this.
No, to the most impartial host on this world, Mr. Arnab Goswami, who always asks the right question to the BCI and the players, but not the government, I want to inform you the same thing here on a constitutional way, that whatever the Supreme Court has stated is what the pertinent, without diluting the work board. But at the same time,
now
I want to state the same thing.
You want more. You're not happy.
No, 1 second.
So you'll do a Shaheen Bagh.
No, you are giving a free right to...
no, I'm not. I don't know free rights.
But you are not even letting me to speak even for 30 seconds.
No, you speak. No, I'm not stopping you.
What kind of an impartial world's best host you are? Give me a second until I finish. Okay, so whatever the constitution gives a mandate, whether it is a Hindu body, whether it is an Islamic body, or whether it is a Christian body, if the constitution allows there isn't some kind of irregularities happening, let the law take its own course, whether be it Waqf or whether it is Thiruvangur board, whether it is Ram Janmabhoomi, I don't bother about it.
So
I want,
as
a secular nation, 1 second.
Where law will take the right course.
If there is, 1 second.
What did the Waqf Board Act of 1995
do?
Sir,
I have been there for 45
Okay. Let him speak. Ratan Chadha, let him complete, then you come in.
I have been here without interrupting for 45 minutes listening to everyone. Have some civility on the debates, okay? So, the constitution allows certain things which has to be exercised by the Muslim community under the purview of constitution, right from Article 14 till 16 and from 243 to 256. So, we don't want to get into that detail. That the court will decide. And as a citizen of this great nation, I have a full confidence in my judiciary process. Let the law would take its own course, whether it is going to dilute the work or doesn't. Let the law will take its own course. I believe in totally with the transparency of our Indian judiciary. And for matter of the fact, the 3 junctions which they state, giving a proximity to the work board, that it is not going to be diluted at any given point of time. Whether it is by work by user clause, or whether
I'll tell you, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, I'm only reminding viewers, which is opposing the court order today, is the same All India Muslim Personal Law Board which supported the Taliban after the Afghanistan takeover and opposed the ban on triple talaq. And they never took a position against polygamy or nikah halala. So I will not say anything more on that. But what I'm saying today is let the court decide. Ratan Chadha. All I'm saying, leave it to the court. There's no need for dhakka mukki on the roads. Yes.
He says they
Ratan Chadha.
But who changed the law? For how the Waqf Board was changed, when you give right of user to claim any land, that is the crux of the matter that has been accepted by the court. That Waqf Board cannot take any kind of incriminating decision that has been agreed by the court. So what kind of victory are you talking about? You are saying you agree with the court, that don't come here saying that this is unjust. 1995 Act was the total distortion of constitution, and you claim that is right. Secondly, Faizan says that I am
Faizan on the right. Faizan.
The malified intention.
Faizan is not challenging me, he's challenging the statement of the Home Minister and the Deputy Home Minister in the Parliament, not
Yes,
me.
the Home Minister
So don't tell me
lied,
I
so
have
that's not something I'm too proud of.
If you have guts,
But
challenge it to
unfortunately, he
in the
lied.
court of law.
So his lies
that
I have
Supreme
guts
Court
to
lied.
ask Faizan a question because I
Minister lied.
have endless amount of guts if nothing else. I want to ask Faizan. Faizan, your basic argument was that WAQF is violating my freedom of religion guaranteed in Article 25 and 26 of the Indian Constitution. Sanju, I can see you there. Sanju, today it is very clear the Supreme Court has upheld the act, so your basic argument to provoke Muslims, to keep provoking Muslims, provoke Muslims, provoke Muslims, day in and day out, provoke Muslims. Your Article 25 violated has been, your argument has been blown to smithereens today.
Supreme Court has only evoked presumption of constitutionality.
Presumption,
which is always in the favor of the legislature.
That's another word you're adding there.
No, which is always in the favor of the legislature. And further discussion on this topic.
Was misused. The Supreme Court says the WAQF by user provision was abused and misused by the WAQF board to encroach on public properties. And Faizan, let me tell you, the WAQF owns 8.72 lakh properties. But do you know how many are registered? Only 1,088 properties are registered out of 8.72
at the same time, the government.
I tell you, ladies and gentlemen,
the government itself, as per its data of 2025, says that 58,889 WAQF properties have been encroached. Your government itself says that.
Article 25 further.
That WAQF board is not the aggressor.
I will conclude with one thing, everyone on the screen. Sir, please listen to me. Sir, please listen to me because I have spoken the least on this program. Once Parliament has cleared... Okay, 1 minute, just 1 minute. What do you want to do? You want to create this kind of dystopian model that happened in Nepal, huh? You want dystopia in India? We have a government, we have a Parliament, and we have a Supreme Court. Dystopia will not do. Dystopia nahi hone wali is desh.
The legal route.
Why are you so desperate?
And ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's a call on the debate. And when I come back tonight, why I believe the rich are given a license to kill the middle class and kill the poor and get away with it. Ladies and gentlemen, luxury killings, the Delhi case and more when I'm back.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.